We have two ways to style our emails. We can use CSS properties or Tailwind. In this lesson, I'm going to show you both techniques. So let's go to our welcome template. Now, here in the body component, we can set the style prop to an object. In this object, we can set any valid CSS properties. For example, we can set background to white. And now if we save the changes and go back to our preview tool, we can see our email. Beautiful. Now, as you know, this approach is not very scalable because we don't want to throw a lot of CSS styles in the middle of our markup. So a better approach is to create style objects outside of this component. So down here, we can declare a constant called body. We set it to an object. In this object, we set background to white. Now, as you probably noticed, here we don't have IntelliSense. So if you press Control and space, we don't see valid CSS properties. To solve this issue, we should annotate this object with CSS properties that exists in React module. So on the top, now we are importing CSS properties from React. With this, now if we press Control and space, we can see all those valid CSS properties. So let's set background to white. And now we can get rid of this inline style and replace this object with body. Similarly, we can define a style for our text. So let's create another object. We call it heading and annotate it with CSS properties. Here we can set font size to, let's say, 32 pixels. And now we can use this object with this text component. So we set style to heading. Now, using the same technique, we can create different style objects for different types of headings like H1, H2, and so on. Now, back in the browser, let's refresh. Here's what we get. Beautiful. So this is one way to style our emails. But we can also use Tailwind. So back to our template. On the top, first we have to import Tailwind from React email/components. Next, we should wrap this body component with Tailwind. And now instead of using the style prop, we use class name. So here we can use all the Tailwind classes that you are familiar with. For example, we can set background to white. And for our text, let's set class name to font bold and text -3x large. Now save the changes, back in the browser, refresh. Here's what we get.